the first 100 years of our great game, we could name nearly all the Indigenous players on one hand to now 11% of the football population. It's an amazing story, and the Australian Constitution currently makes no mention of the first 40,000 plus years of the country's history and the people who forged it. Also has sections allowing race discrimination. You'll see the R on the ground tonight. That's recognise the People's Movement to recognise Indigenous Australians into the Constitution and to remove discrimination from it. Huge weekend of football. Yep. Such a great cause coming together. Too. It's a great weekend of football. It's got all the good things we love about our game, the community, the game itself, and a ripping game tonight.
That's the Cats lineup on screen, Ed. The big in, Steve Johnson, also Billy Smets, who's missed quite a bit of footy through injury. Good to see him back. But two massive outs in Corey Enright and Tom Lonergan, who normally does the job on Franklin. They're going to have to play well.
Let's have a look at the Swannies as they come out onto the ground now, and their team in a second. Swannies have not lost a game since round 4, gents, and they are the #1 team for being in front of their opposition 75% of their time. So they're very settled. They're playing good footy. Their midfield is back to the way they want to play. Good coverage for the back line, hard running forward, and they're winning the ball at the coalface.
All right, we're coming down to the last 4 minutes and 20 seconds before the bounce at the SCG. Let's go to the break, and remember, it's going to be a Super Sunday live from the Adelaide Oval. It's going to be a beauty. Look at that. The guns are out there for the Crows. They need to fire up the doggies. Don't let sleeping dogs lie, Derm. I saw you kiss the old Scragger out there one time. And Sunday twilight at the MCG, 4:40. It's the Hawks in action against the Giants. Coming up Sunday evening live, Patterson Stadium, 7:40. Kangaroos versus the West Coast Eagles, or vice versa. West Coast Eagles versus Kangaroos. It's going to be fantastic. Nissan Ultima brings you. So we're ready to go. The Australian of the Year, Adam Goodes, 1 minute 40 away. We'll get the tips on this Indigenous round. The jersey there, the Guernsey, designed by Adam Goodes' mother. It's an absolute beauty right throughout the weekend, and good luck to all our Indigenous players over the weekend's activities. Derm, who's going to win?
No doubt. Look, I'm going for the Sydney Swans. I think they've probably had a pretty good run into this one, and Sydney have had Geelong have had a pretty tough few weeks.
Jason?
Hard one to pick. I just went with the home team, Ed. A couple of goals in it.
Sorry?
I've gone the Swans by 14 points. Geelong have been on the road a little bit, so I think it might take a bit out of them.
There you go. And Lance Franklin going in for the coin toss. And Joel Selwood there. We'll get, while this is rolling over the top, let's go to David King. You're going for the blowout, King.
I have. I think they're at their ruthless best at the moment, this midfield. I think they could get hold of a vulnerable Cats lineup tonight.
Good on you, Cam. I love a bloke who's put his heart ahead of his head.
Well, you know what? You're all going to owe me a shout later on, because I've got you all done here. Geelong by 7 tonight, boys.
All right, mate. Well, I think the Swannies by 24 points. We're ready to go up there at the SCG. As we saw, the toss of the coin has been played. We'll get some live pictures up in a moment. It's a beautiful night for football at the SCG. Such an important round of football, and a big night for this man and that man as well. The Australian of the Year, as I said, Adam Goodes, has been the spiritual leader for so long of this Sydney Swan side and for Indigenous players in general, and has done a fantastic job with it in his reconciliation message, but also for the fight against racism. And we wish Adam all the best of luck tonight. And the Footy Record's got a beautiful photo of him on the front cover with his mother. The Geelong jumper looks great, doesn't it? The hoops are there, but also with a nod to the Indigenous players. And, of course, one of the greatest ever, Graham Polly Farmer, one of the great players. And the
fair wing battle, that one, Derm.
Yeah, it's a beauty. So Adam Goodes goes to the wing. We're just about ready to go. Who's going to get Big Budster as he runs down to full
Harry
forward?
Taylor, it looks like.
Harry Taylor's got him. First go. All right, we're ready for action at the SCG. Siren goes. Nick Davis is out to Adam Goodes already. And we're away at the SCG.
Have a look at that monster bounce from Matthew Nichols. It took a quarter to come down. McGlynn out of the middle. First touch, first real kick goes with Bird of Sydney, and a real nice mark by Parker. Fast hands and immediately into attack, Sydney. Tippett!
Well, that's an ominous sign for Geelong. That was a great kick. He had that fat side of the ground open to him, Kurt Tippett, and he's a huge man. Have a look at this. Nothing Jared Rivers could do. The kick was to advantage. He just released perfectly at the right time, BT, and once he stretches those jukes up like that...
Yep. Didn't release too early, did he?
No, he released at the right time.
Tippett now gets a shot as a result of all that. Very close to the man on the mark, and I reckon that forced it wide. He got too close. So many players misjudged their run-ups.
Yeah, Kurt Tippett has had a habit of doing that at times, and that, well, you couldn't believe you could miss, could you? Directly in front, 15 metres out, and you caught it perfectly, BT. You got too close to the man on the mark. But what a start for Sydney. They want to try and stretch this undermanned Geelong defence. Perfect start for them.
Absolutely. So Geelong in there, using the head as a battering ram. There was Duncan, and of course the new rule interpretation says you cannot do that this year and expect a free kick.
Coming out, boys,
which is correct.
Coming out.
Matthew James in beautiful bouncing form in the middle. We'll get another chance to look at that later on if he gets another bounce. Went 30 metres in the air. Stokes. Bird again, second touch. And now Sydney get just a little bit of relief from Rampy. Shaw. And Rampy, beautiful left foot on the head of Tippett once again. This time from the side was Reid. Have a look at this in the middle, guys. This is an incredible bounce. Actually went out of picture for some considerable time. And that was Matthew Nichols.
Yeah, BT, the SCG has always bounced like that here. It's the cricket pitches in there, and it's a hard surface. But I hope the umpires, sometimes they get a bit excited, try and bounce it out of the stadium. That doesn't help anyone.
I watched the other two in the warm-up, and they didn't get anywhere near as high. So the ruckman will have to be on their toes as to who is bouncing it.
Yep. Gee, it's a dangerous forward six when you throw in McVeigh and Jack, who started in that forward line with the tall Sam Reid in there also.
Selwood, that pocket pursued here by McGlynn.
I love how John Longmire does that. When you've got the big guns down there, Buddy and Tippett and Sam Reid and Goods, he puts the two hardest, most competitive tackling small forwards you could possibly imagine around them. As you said, McVeigh and Jack, they're going to work hard to make sure at ground level they get a contest.
There's McGlynn. And a slouch in that area as well. Goods clearly out.
Hey, Lingy, can you see any matchups through that midfield early in this game?
Yeah, absolutely, Richo. That man there, Joel Selwood, so important to the Geelong lineup. Benny McGlynn going straight to him right from that first bounce. Also looks like Cam Guthrie going to Josh Kennedy for the Swans. We know he's a ball magnet, contested ball winner, clearance player, so Guthrie will try and nullify that for the Cats.
How about Stevie J, Lingy? We know that he's coming off a suspension, having got frustrated with the tag last time, Ryan Crowley. It looks as though he's got a bit of space at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Wasn't that an amazing matchup on the wing at the first bounce? Adam Goods v Stevie J. Hopefully we just see a shootout between those two.
Well, there's Goods out the back door to the left foot of Melcheski. He goes long again, so Tippett gets a third opportunity here in the air.
Well, you've got to look at what Sydney are going to try and do, and that not mucking around. They're not even trying to hit targets on the lead, Richo. Let's see if we can get the old-fashioned long bomb in, take some marks, and put Rivers and Harry Taylor under a fair bit of pressure.
Tippett, good position there in front of Dawson Simpson, the ruckman McGlynn. Fast hands Shark Varco. Real in close, tight game at the moment. Both these teams, Geelong first in tackles in the competition and Sydney third in tackles.
So that, thanks, Lance.
Yeah, we're going to see a real tackle fest here tonight, aren't we? They average about 75 each.
You can see the spread that Geelong tried to have out of their back 50 there. They were held up well by the Swans.
Selwood did well to just tidy it up a little bit. Here's the kick to Blitzarves, who's been playing in defence for a couple of weeks now. Has had some big assignments. Stokes to Varco. More of a bump than it was a tackle, so the umpire said it was all fair. And now Bartel, really fast hands. An opportunity here for Stringer. Bartel again caught. Now Grundy tidies up, little one around the corner. Laidler, but straight to the Cats. Blitzarves goes wide and finds an opportunity with Stevie J.
Blitzarves has started on Sam Reid, and when Geelong won that ball in back 50, he just bolted forward. So he's going to try and run off Sam Reid.
Looked really good in defence last week, Blitzarves, who's playing on Mad Jack Door, so a good tackle there from Park. Bit of a hospital handball for Varco. And here's Blitzarves. Pretty good skills by foot to Stevie J.
Standard drop punt from about 48 metres out, Stevie J. Not quite getting the journey. McIntosh is there, and their first score of the game is also a behind.
They just finished off that point on Blitzarves. It's a big step up in class playing on Sam Reid. I think he's a super talented player, but he looked very, very comfortable playing in defence of Blitzarves last week.
Even bigger step up right now, Darcy. If the Swans can get down quick, he's lined up on Buddy Franklin. They'll be looking to exploit that if they can.
See, what can't he do? This Blitzarves guy, little one in the middle. as Hawkins works his way back to full forward. Now Mackie drawing Bartel to the footy, but Melcheski standing in the hole. Slides one to Hanbury and a beautiful kick to Jack. And Jack with a lethal left as well. Decides to give Tippett a fourth chance. It was kicked to the wrong side on that occasion. And Varco to Taylor.
Gee, Franklin's just been a better player since Tippett came into the team. They've kicked 14 goals between them in the last 2 weeks. So Tippett coming into the team, Franklin gets one-out opportunities and becomes more dangerous also.
Really starting to blend together too, Richo, aren't they? Understand each other, it's an important part. Do we undervalue that, Richo, the understanding of each other's game and knowing each other intimately in terms of footy?
I think it's just good having another genuine marking player down there, because his opponent can't come off and, you know, help out your opponent, and that's what these two will do with each other.
Poor boundary throw in there. Neither ruckman in the end could get a hand to it. I'm not sure why the boundary umpires don't come 5 metres inside the ground and throw it in. There's Kelly. Little one around the body. Also get closer to the corridor, the boundary throw-ins, by doing that. Shaw now, as he so often does in that last line of defence, mops up, but it's going to come back. Gee, McIntosh took that cricket style, bending the knees and getting back with the hands above the eyes. Counter-attack on. Shaw, a beautiful runner with a footy. Buddy as well. Bounces immediately. A kick to the advantage of Tippett is just inch perfect. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, brilliant call and brilliant execution. The kick from Buddy is just saying, settle down, Kirk, go back and kick this one. He's an underrated field kick, Buddy. I mean, we know he has his issues sometimes in front of goal, but you couldn't get a better drop punt at full speed. Joel Selwood giving pace. That is absolutely as perfect a kick as you could possibly deliver.
How was Tippett's movement and pace to get back on that ball, though, for a man who's 200 centimetres?
Yeah, it was extraordinary. And here he is. The thought of that last kick will be going through his mind, and he is a man that does get very close to the man on the mark, as Das alluded to before. That's better, and Sydney get the first goal.
So not the most convincing again from the big fella Kurt Tippett. He's had kicking dramas in the past at the Crows. I think he's improved prior to tonight, his action a little bit, but coming off for a spell. But again, that's what they want. Marks inside 50, trying to get Tippett, get Big Buddy and get Reid on the one-out situation. Richard,
a bit flat to come off the ground after 2 marks early. What are you thinking?
We can see this kick in here from Harry Taylor. That's the dangerous kick in a game of footy, to a 50-50 to a small guy at high half forward, and the opposition, Sydney Swans in this case, can just counter-attack with the entire field open. That's the way Buddy was able to get into Tippett with plenty of space.
Bartel, quick hands, Mackey's kick smothered very effectively, and now Jack and Varco go at it. Taylor slid down and under to Kelly. Just trying to hustle it forward. He doesn't want it to slip out. He knows there's a lot of red jumpers hanging about. Parker now to a vacant Sydney area of the ground. In fact, not a bad result if that's not out of bounds on the full, but it is.
I remember a few weeks ago when the Swans played Hawthorn up here. Their front 6 just kept rotating around, coming to the interchange bench early, and they're doing that again tonight. Adam Good started at full forward at that bounce, Tippett off the ground.
Motlop, just such a smooth mover. Finds Smets back into the team for his first game this year, Billy Smets. And boy, was he just trying to do a little too much then?
He was trying to do a heap too much, BT, because he had Joel Selwood on a 15-metre lead that you should hit every time, and he just overthought it there.
Not sure he's a tackle in the end. I reckon it was more of a push, but anyway, the umpire said it was a tackle. Jack, lovely hands, wanted it back from McVeigh. Buddy, or Goods it is, in fact, picks up on the left, round the corner. Mackey's got to go. Hit the post.
That was the pickup by Jack then. Set up the handball to McVeigh. Sensational.
Andrew Mackey long, the back stringer. Both hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Hanbury driven forward. Guthrie keeps their arms clear for the handball, and Bartel run out of tarmac. I think
this game, this ground really suits the Cats in the way they play. They've had opportunities, but they'll always come through the middle, Chris Scott's team. They'll always take the game on. And because it's so short here, you can see the 50-metre arc almost touching the centre square. There's always a chance to score each other the way they play.
You can get lost out wide here. It's a really wide ground as well, short but quite wide. And teams come up here and get lost on the wings.
Grundy, double possession in that play. Taylor leads Franklin to the footy. Takes him on, just got rid of it in the nick of time, and he was de-dacked as well. Murdoch got a left foot, remember, ball knocked out there. Buddy, well done. Melcheski fights on. That is unbelievable quick, short, soft hands. That is superb. It's something the modern-day player does extremely well. Varco sliding over as Duncan. Time to get back to his feet and think, and some composure there.
This was unbelievable from Melcheski. It was a genuine sort of pickpocket. He knew he'd gone past him, and he had a slap at the footy and hit it perfectly. Turned it over. Here's that kick in the middle. It's got risk attached to it, but they are brave enough to keep doing it, Geelong.
Too small again. Just overworked at Melcheski. Lacked the vision out the side then. Didn't see the defensive player coming, but they get the run, and Melcheski runs so smoothly onto that left side. Tip at Dawson. Simpson did well to defend. Has he got the wheels? He has. Off to Gorge. Gorge Indigenous round 2014 starts well for him.
Yeah, great finish from Adam Goods. The second he went onto his left and hit the boot, he knew that it was going to go through the middle. A massive round for the Australian of the Year, Adam Goods. He knows the significance of what it means. He'll be down at the MCG for Dreamtime of the G. There was the pickpocket work from Melcheski. They look so dangerous on the counter-attack, Sydney, don't they? They're getting their big forwards one out, and at the moment they look like they are going to score a bit more easily than Geelong.
Yeah, and Tipper was just able to get down onto that ground ball quicker than Big Simpson and dish the handball off, and Goodsy loved that. They're on fire here early, the Swans, dominating possession, dominating uncontested ball, and it's an area they've been brilliant in the last 5 weeks, 5 wins in a row.
Beautiful palm down there. Inside 50 again. Grundy, Hall and Smith, Stringer. Once again, the ball knocked out. Almost deliberately. Seen 3 of those in this game already. Reid in the middle.
He's got the 2 big forwards, one out, Sam Reid. That's a strange choice. They had Franklin one out, and they had Tippett one out. They get there anyway.
Jetta to Franklin. Gave up the front position too easy.
That's why he's a great defender, Harry Taylor. He doesn't just worry about punching the ball away and defending. He tries to win the footy and win it back.
Worked the angle beautifully then. Stevie J with that typical right foot across the body. And Tom Hawkins turns around and gives him the evil, I reckon. Inside 50's already been doubled by Sydney. Simpson looking for some body on Reid then. Didn't quite find it with the hands. Gee, aren't Sydney doing well at the stoppages at the moment? Bird around the corner. High footy. Tippett's a long, long way from home. Duncan, the third man in there, did well even though tackles. That was a great look from Rivers. Blitzars likewise. Their handball is really effective. Stokes. Kicks have been under pressure going forward. Another opportunity. Selwood. Kennedy stripped. Real game of tough in close tackling at the moment. Goods wanted the mark. Nothing on. Opportunity for Buse to apply the tackle. And it is tough in there at the moment.
Swans are applying some great tackle pressure at the moment. They're tackling 2-1 at the moment, even though they've won more of the footy. The Cats are really finding it hard.
Extraordinary combination of handballs again then from Sydney. Just something that the modern day player does unbelievably well. Stokes now. Kick wide to Johnson, misses the target.
Yeah, they've got Sam Reid in the ruck at the moment. Tom Derricks was at full forward on Andrew Mackey, had a big height advantage, couldn't get the ball down there.
Sam, keep the meter, please, Sam.
That looked like a little bit of a sore arm, elbow there to Stevie J. Just labouring a little bit with that. Big Dorso Simpson there doing the work. Selwood right where he wanted it. Offhand, Stokes, Guthrie. Way out of the Calder Cannons footy factory. Round the corner, Murdoch was there, couldn't get hands to it. Clever little tap on there by Stringer. Didn't work for the Cats. Gee, a lot of players around the play. Sydney ball.
No, tackle him up. We've got to do it. Time back on.
Rampy.
Play on.
And immediately the kick out wide to Reid. McVeigh. Parker. Working back onto his right. A low bullet into Jeddah. Jeddah just did it with ease, got back to his feet. Now the kick to Tippett. He's had 5 or 6 one-on-ones in this quarter already, and we've only played 16 minutes. And he's had it one-on-one each time.
He has. They're working that really well, getting Tippett 30 or 40 metres out. And he's just eventually, weight of numbers will get you in the end with Tippett. If you give him enough looks at it like that, he's going to clunk enough marks, I would have thought, to do some damage.
So they're going to have to put some time into Bird. He's up to 10 disposals for the Sydney Swans.
Lewis Jeddah wanted taking of the legs there. And there's a man that's also done well with his own 8 possessions, Richo Malcheski.
Bird's been the one in the last 5 weeks that's taken his game to another level to really help the Swans.
What a kick from Shaw. Tippett gets the Dukes out in front.
Yeah, at the moment, he's got Blitzars playing full back, and as Lingy said before, it's a big step up from Majak Dor last week. We thought he might have had Sam Reid, but Tippett's probably just about the hardest one-on-one to defend at the moment, given his massive frame, and you can see Blitzars there, almost impossible to defend that.
See that by Reece Shaw, that was just really smart. He didn't blaze away. He actually called Tippett into that footy.
He did. He told him where he should run. Tippett now with a kick from 45, so he's had them from all parts, and that looks pretty good, just offline.
They're getting the different mismatches inside 50 because they're rotating their forwards around on and off the bench. They do it really well, the Swans.
You mean their bigs, Richo?
Yeah, they're coming off and on the ground, and they're getting different matchups inside that 50.
The Sydney side, Richo, rotate more than any side I've just about seen. They'll have Reid playing full back 1 minute, then wing, then out of the goal square. It's a real modern trend of...
Yeah, it's not just rotating on the bench, is it? It's all over the ground.
Sydney again. Beautiful smother on that occasion by Stringer. The hard-working Sydney Swans coaching outfit. Stewie Dew in the front row.
Those rotations that you're talking about, it's allowing those isolation, one-on-one matchups that you're talking about. Kurt Tippett getting one-on-ones. Harry Taylor, terrific grab there. But even again, it was kicked to a one-on-one Buddy Franklin. That's because of the different looks they're giving Geelong at the moment.
Gee, how desperate are Geelong to get it in the corridor, even when it's risky, as you say. They keep going for it. Stokes forward. Bartel will be outmarched here by Richards. A lot of red jumpers, but Motlop, the mover around the corner. Can Dorso Simpson pick it up? No, he can't. Grundy wanted the free. Duncan bursts through. He says, where's the troops? I need someone to give it to. Hawkins out the back. Opportunity, Laidler.
Trouble is that they're not getting as good pressure there from Murdoch. They might turn it over here, but they're not getting any reward for their risk at the moment. They're picking it off through the middle of the ground, but the numbers in defence for Sydney are winning out.
So Sydney deliberately getting those numbers in there, Das.
Yeah, they work it back really well. All their midfield push back hard, and they open up their forward line.
That's a classic example. He should have had the Tippets and got the Dukes out there, buddy. He wanted it on the chest. It was an easy spoil for the defender. That's a basic mistake. Motlop, the over-the-top ball looking for Bartel. A wake-up to it with the Swans.
It's Shaw and Malcheski as well. They're just rebounding at will at the moment.
Have a look at the free ball they're getting in the middle here, Sydney, at the moment. That kick wasn't great over the head, but here comes an opportunity missed. Tippett snap at goal, got his second.
Yeah, a couple of Geelong defenders just got confused there. They tried to leave it for each other. It should have been smashed through for a rush behind. The ball spilled to ground, and
you know you're on when that's happening.
He does. Gets a ripping bounce and runs into an open goal. He's missed one from 10 metres out. He should have 3 already. Look at the size of him. He's just a massive, massive unit. And his eyes will be lighting up at the moment for a big bag.
Yeah, there's just a mistake. You cannot let the ball get over the back like that. Billy Smets, I think it was. If you're going to jump, you have to kill the footy. He didn't. And there's a present for Kurt Tippett. Gee, they're nice as a forward.
They're on fire through the middle and up forward and down back in all aspects of the game at the moment, Sydney. Hall and Smith. Searching for Kelly. Kick forward, Hawkins. Trying the Campese goose step there, just in mid-run. Malcheski to space, hoping that Hanbury can get hold of it. And he does. Good tackle in the end by Buse.
Lingy, what do you do with Malcheski and Shaw? They're just winning the ball at will at half-back at the moment. Thanks, Lingy.
Just nicked off somewhere, Lingy, at the moment.
Yeah, he likes to concentrate when the Cats are playing, Richo. He gets a bit focused. He likes to really zero in on what's going on out there. But it's an issue for them, mate. You're absolutely right. They've had 16 possessions between them already, Shaw and Malcheski.
Guthrie with a clean bit of play, but the kick was not to the advantage of McIntosh. Richards now. What have they got on the outside? Nothing. So up the middle they come once again. Shaw involved strategically with so many counter-attacks as Shaw. Kieran Jack slows. Coming off the bye, Sydney. Last played 13 nights ago at Etihad Stadium when they hammered Essendon by 50 points. As distinct from the Cats, who coming off back-to-back six-day breaks 12 nights ago, they were playing Freo and Perth, and then last Friday the Kangaroos at Simmons.
It looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does at the moment. They look nowhere near as sharp and full of run.
I'm sorry, Richo, a bit of a communication breakdown there, but one thing I've noticed, Sydney's ability to rebound outside of their defensive 50 at the moment is just killing Geelong. You guys mentioned that free ball through the midfield. At the moment, they're moving the ball the whole length of the ground. Every one of their scores except 1 point has come from turnovers in their defensive 50, so they've been able to move it the whole length of the ground and score.
Buddy goes for the long distance kick. Never blame your tools either, Lingy. As they tried to get that boot on properly. He always wanted to wield around the left foot then, Buddy.
It was a bit harsh. He was actually doing his boot up. He got called 15 seconds and panicked a bit. Decided to kick it off 2 steps.
Gee, it's a fast game of footy. There's been over 200 possessions already, and we've still got 3 minutes to go. Not a lot of stoppages.
Distinctly different to this game last year, and I think they kicked 15 goals to us between.
Yeah, it was 8 goals, 1 to 7-2 in the first quarter corresponding game. The Cats led it. They haven't been out, as we can tell, hit the scoreboard here, Geelong. I think they'll be not unhappy with the margin. I know that sounds strange. I feel like Sydney have been way on top in this game, ahead of disposals. They've been ahead of clearances. They've been winning almost every area of the game, but they haven't blown the scoreboard out.
Hanbury, Kelly working hard. Was brilliant last week, James Kelly. By Kieran Jack, a hold on Buddy. Harry pleads his case. Let's have a listen.
You got your arms around Harry. You've got your arms around him. It's a free kick.
But can you watch him holding me as well?
Sure.
Please.
Yeah.
It works both ways.
Yeah, just don't put your arms around him and I won't pay a free kick against you.
What a great conversation.
And he's a gentleman, Harry, isn't he? Most blokes would like to go off and maybe use a few expletives. Can you just please watch him holding me as well, said Harry.
There was only one jumper being held, and it was Harry's.
Franklin for Sydney's 4th goal.
I guess you get those little breaks when you play in front, and Buddy Franklin played in front. The umpire would not have been able to see his jumper being pulled. He would have been blindsided. Franklin plays in front and gets the free kick. You always taught that as a junior, so I guess you take the breaks when you can get them.
Well, that there from Buddy Franklin is goal number 600. And well done to Buddy Franklin on that. And should he goes down now in AFL history as one of only 29 players to have done that feat, kicked the 600 goals. So congratulations to Buddy Franklin there.
Is he capable of getting to 1,000? I didn't think anyone else would get there, but he may well be able to get there, Buddy.
He's got another 8 years left on his contract.
It's 50 goals a year.
He's got there pretty quick in under 200 games as well, hasn't he?
So, well, none of those other guys on that list will, be playing anywhere near as long as Buddy. So he's the only potential player to get to 1,000.
191 games to get his 600, so it's damn impressive. Malcheski wide. Other than Stevie Johnson's set shot for goal from 50, there's been nothing easy on offer for Geelong in this first quarter so far with under 2 minutes to go.
And we saw Chris Scott before the game. He spoke to Lee and he said, well, let's hope they don't mark it deep and we need to bring it to ground. Unfortunately, from a Geelong point of view, what's happened is Franklin, Goods and Tippett have kicked all the goals in this first quarter.
Yet another boundary throw in falling short that the actual Rovers did the ruck work. Now, unless they fix this and get it right, they're kidding themselves as they think the players are too far back. They're not. Blitzarves, they are experts at judging their distance, and they've got to start getting it right, these guys. Hall and Smith through the middle. The link up by Motlop. Sort of a downward basketball bounce it was. Got a couple. Boys, he got some wheels. 40 metres out, lets it rip and misses.
What about that speed from Motlop? But as Tom Hawkins waves his arm around Richo, and so he should, because if he had a little bit of composure, there was a 20-metre pass. Hawkins goes back and kicks it from 30 metres out.
Just a little dinky pass, wasn't it? Well, this could be their second goalless quarter for the year. The Cats had a goalless quarter against Fremantle a few weeks back.
Good effort for Sydney against this attacking outfit.
Sam Reid, free kick. Climb back on.
3 Geelong players caught on the mark there. Well, 2 of them without a player. So you would think there's someone free downfield, but all of the Sydney players standing off to the right of the mark there as well. Blitzarves working back. A little hold on Franklin there. Let's see if we can get a boundary umpire to get it in the required journey here.
Gee, you're on one.
You're pretty passionate about this, aren't you, Bristol?
I'm annoyed about it because it's a simple thing. Throw it in. That's all you've got to do. That's perfect. Thank you.
Good throwing.
Magnificent. Kennedy. Now up the back. Bird. Don't think they're that happy with me. The boundary umpires. But come on, you know. Players have got to do all sorts of things. Boundary umpires don't have to do a lot except run and throw.
Very tough job, Brian.
He's doing a good job, this young man. I'll back him in. Look at this.
Beautiful technique, but just falling a bit short. Opportunity. Hall and Smith in the back half. Johnson. McIntosh got to turn around and go. He did. Got the kick away. 15 seconds, but once again, Richards underneath all that.
Play on.
So Sydney by 25 points, and Geelong are not going to kick a goal in this quarter. And that'll just about be it as well. So Sydney looks sharp. They look fresh and they look ready. Can the Geelong Cats reply on the other side of the break? We're about to find out. 4-4, 28. Geelong, just the 3 behinds.